right now, there's some pretty intense whale activity for Pepe and for Bitcoin. And there's quite a bit of volatility happening in the crypto market because of it. Bitcoin rejected off of the $110,000 level, not taking a new high just yet. And Pepe, after getting a nice little recovery move, is starting to go back down to the downside. But what is going on with these whales? And are we going to get a 70% surge for the price of Pepe? Well, let's talk a little bit about it in this video, guys. Welcome back. Happy 4th of July to you and your families out there. I'm wearing my blue shirt. I'm ready to go. Smash a like, subscribe. Let's talk Pepe. So here's this article from this crypto.news publication. Pepe coin eyes a 70% surge as whale accumulation is coming into the picture. So what they're looking at here is data showing the amount of Pepe left on exchanges has dropped to its lowest level in 2 years. And this coin is relatively new. It's only been around 2 or 3 years now. But as of July 3rd, there were 246 trillion tokens held on exchanges, down from 254 trillion on the same day in June. So what we're seeing is, as fewer tokens are on exchanges, typically it indicates that investors are moving these coins to self-custody, planning to hold on for the long term. On top of that, what we're also seeing is some technicals looking at a falling wedge pattern, which is typically a bullish setup. So this is something that they're peeking at here. Here's the falling wedge. It looks like it's broken out of the falling wedge to the upside. And then, of course, we're talking about these Pepe Whales, okay? The top 100 addresses have also expanded their holdings, now controlling 302 trillion coins, representing 3.86% rise just over the last month. So whales are starting to accumulate for Pepe, but what we're also seeing is whales from Bitcoin start to transfer some of their funds. There are some wallets right now, 8 dormant Satoshi era Bitcoin wallets, reactivating some moves after doing nothing over 14 years, moving a total of $8.6 billion worth of Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. Now, I believe we have seen $1 billion worth of this Bitcoin actually sold off. Somebody bought 10,000 Bitcoin worth $15,000 14 years ago, and they took profit for $1 billion today. Can you do that? Could you have done that? Could you have bought $15,000 14 years ago and took profit today? Now you're a billionaire. No more problems in your life. You could say, well, if he had held it, it would have done. Well, if you're an individual and you had $15,000 and you invested it into Bitcoin 15 years ago, and it turned to $1 billion, you've got no more problems anymore, okay? In fact, that guy easily could have taken $1 million profit and been living a very beautiful life, and now he's got $1 billion, and he probably owns 10 blimps, you know what I mean? And everybody's, wondering, is this something you could still do with Pepe? I don't think you're going to be able to turn $15,000 into $1 billion with Pepe. Here's a price prediction chart. And by the way, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing here is financial advice ever, guys. You got to do your own research, okay? But this publication is putting out some Pepe price predictions. So let's look a little bit about some of these price predictions. And it's a utility-free meme coin. There's no utility to it. There's no real use for it. It's just a meme. It's built on Ethereum, launched in 2023. So, right? I mean, it's just 2 years old, okay? They talk about the price. The primary growth drivers, just hype, memes, and community support. And then they kind of go, and this is, I don't know if I agree with this so much. Unlike Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, Pepe is not building an ecosystem. Instead, it relies purely on meme-driven marketing. Well, what I want to remind you guys is Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, when they first started, they were worthless. Totally just a utility-free meme coin. And then the prices pumped, so then the utility plays came into the picture. I would not be surprised to see Pepe and the Pepe team, if we do have another bear market. I think we're going to have another bear market. After the bear market, coming into the next bull market, building utility, just like Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu did the most utility, but Shiba Inu is one of the weakest out of the 3 right now. So how important is utility? I don't think it is for memes. I think your meme ability is more important than utility, in my opinion. Now, they do put out some predictions here. So again, can you turn $15,000 into 1.1 billion like people did with Bitcoin over the last 14 years. Well, I don't think so with Pepe. I don't think Pepe is going to be the next Bitcoin. I think Pepe is going to be a meme that some people are going to make a lot of money on. Some people are going to make little money on. And unfortunately, some people will lose. Like, for example, you saw people that were buying Pepe back in, just as an example, back in December of 2024 at these highs. And unfortunately, there are people that only come in at these levels and only sell at these levels. They buy low, they buy high and they sell low. And that's an easy way to lose some money instead of doing the opposite, where you buy low and sell high. And of course, pick your own levels and do your own research and decide if you do want to buy Pepe for yourself. But here is CoinSpeaker putting out predictions, medium-term Pepe predictions, 26, 2027, to 2030 and beyond. And you might be shocked to see they're talking about a potential ROI of only a 72% gain for Pepe by 2027. Pepe people are probably like, what the heck? I thought this was going to 10x. I thought this was going to 20x. I know a lot of people believe Pepe could do this. And I think that it's possible for Pepe. That's my personal opinion. And what I also want to share with you as my personal opinion is I think a 72% gain for Pepe by January 2027 is frankly bearish. Now, I'll tell you this. I wouldn't be surprised if Pepe is only up 72% from its current prices in January 2027. Why do I say that? Well, I say that, how can I say both of those things at the same time? I believe that this bull market, and this is, again, not financial advice in my opinion, I believe this bull market could continue into the end of 2025, perhaps even into 2026. But by 2027, hypothetically, we should be entering a cool-off phase. I think what we have next is a bigger Bitcoin surge followed by some kind of altcoin season and then a broader bear market for the crypto asset class. That's what we've seen historically. The past performance is all we have to try to predict future performance. But that being said, nobody can really predict the future. So all you do is look at the past. And in the past, we've had bear markets. But before that bear market comes along, we typically had a huge surge. That huge surge is where I think Pepe could do something much bigger than 72%, maybe a 5x, maybe a 10x, maybe something greater. It could be something less. But I expect there to be some kind of altcoin boom. This is what I've been keeping an eye on. This is what I've been expecting to happen. We still have seen Bitcoin dominance outpacing the rest of the altcoins. But I do believe that these predictions are quite bearish. Talking about potential ROI on Pepe, into 2030, only at 3x for Pepe by 2030. I think that Pepe should do more than 3x at some point before 2030. I think this is all quite bearish. So maybe this is too bearish, but thinking that you could turn, your $15,000 that you bought on Bitcoin into, $1 billion with Pepe is also, I think, unrealistic. So what kind of things can we expect with Pepe? Well, we've talked about it a lot. You saw Dogecoin basically get to a $100 billion market cap. Pepe got to $11 billion market cap. Pepe might be able to achieve what Dogecoin has achieved in the past, but, meme coins are very risky. They're very, very risky, which is why I just prefer to trade them personally. And do some smaller portions of my holding portfolio with the memes and trade the volatility on them because they have excellent volatility. So if you want to hold them, and you believe them, well, I like Dogecoin and Pepe personally, and you got to pick your own memes, or maybe you don't like memes at all. If you want to trade them, we have affiliates for you guys in the links in the description down below. Several affiliates to several great exchanges if you do want to check them out. Sign up links for you there in the description down below. That's all I have in this one, guys. Wanted to share with you guys some of the whale updates that are going on. We are seeing Pepe whales still continuing to accumulate, though I do think it's a little premature to say there's going to be a 70% breakout for Pepe because right now we're seeing Bitcoin reject off 110, start to slide back down. Arthur Hayes right now is predicting a 90K Bitcoin retest. I think that's possible as well. That being said, we are seeing Fed rate cuts coming, so maybe we are due for a crypto boom. Gotta do your own research, my friends, and pick your technical levels day in, day out. Things change with the news. We're going to keep the news coming to you guys on this channel. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one, guys. DCA Hodl, 2 videos here. Check them out. Till next time, guys. Peace.